Why are Cole Palmer could be the best player in the Premier League? It's been a year of ups and downs for Cole Palmer at Chelsea, with his poker against Brighton last weekend the latest in a string of accolades, and the Chelsea man is getting more and more admiring looks. When Cole Palmer scores, he rubs his shoulders at his nickname Cold Palmer. Not because he's socially awkward, but because of his coolness in front of goal. Now you might think Cole Palmer would be a better name. We've even seen players copying Palmer's celebration, players whose names don't even rhyme with cold or any variation of it. Palmer gets the most sincere compliment. He has been excellent since leaving Manchester City for Chelsea in search of regular game time at the end of the summer transfer window in 2023. It was a move that seemed to come out of nowhere, but it is perhaps the best piece of business Chelsea have done since they signed a young Belgian called Eden Hazard in 2012. Last Saturday could be considered the peak of Palmer's form at Stamford Bridge. The Englishman tormented Brighton, scoring all four of the hosts' goals in a 4-2 win. Had he continued to rub his shoulders in celebration, the sponsor logo on his Chelsea sleeve would have been removed. All four goals came in a chaotic first half in West London, meaning Palmer became the first player in Premier League history to score 4 goals before halftime in a single game. He also scored 4 goals in Chelsea's 6-0 win over Everton last season, becoming only the second Blues player to score 4 goals in 2 different Premier League games, after Frank Lampard in 2008 vs Derby County and 2010 vs Aston Villa. Palmer didn't just score 4, he did it in just 19 minutes 57 seconds between his first and fourth effort. Only Jermaine Defoe, for Tottenham v Wigan in November 2009, has ever scored 4 Premier League goals in a quicker time in the competition, 17 minutes 56 seconds. Palmer finished the game with 7 shots. No player has had more in a Premier League game this season, while his individual expected goals total of 2.41 is at least 0.52 xg higher than any other player has ever scored. It was an impressive performance from the 22-year-old, but not a huge surprise. Since joining Chelsea on the 1st of September 2023, only Harry Kane has been involved in more goals in one of Europe's top 5 leagues, 49-38 goals, 11 assists, than Palmer's 43, 28 goals, 15 assists. That's ahead of Erling Haaland, 39-34 goals, 5 assists, Kylian Mbappé, 37-29 goals, 8 assists, and Ollie Watkins, 36-23 goals, 13 assists. It's worth noting that 10 of Palmer's goals have come from the penalty spot, but even excluding penalties, only Kane, 43, and Watkins, 36, have been involved in more goals than him, with 33 between them. Palmer has provided more Premier League assists, 15, since moving to Chelsea, while only Haaland, 34, has scored more Premier League goals in that time, with Palmer, 28, 5 more than Watkins, 23, in third. 5 of those have come from outside the box, with only Phil Foden, 6, scoring more in that time. Palmer impressed last season under Mauricio Pochettino, but new Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca seems to be getting more out of his star man. Looking at Palmer's lineup from last season at Chelsea compared to this season, he appears to be playing a little wider and deeper, drifting more to the right, allowing him to turn inside onto his left foot and try to release his teammates. He has maintained his output despite not often getting the ball into the opposition penalty area. Essentially, when Palmer has the ball, opponents don't know whether to expect a pass or a hold-up play. The only thing that is almost certain is that whatever he chooses to do will work. No Premier League player has created more than Palmer's 15 chances from open play this season. Dejan Kulusevski also has 15, while only Soccer, 9, has scored more than Palmer's 7 big chances. A big chance is defined as a situation where a player has a reasonable expectation of scoring. When he doesn't create chances for others, Palmer takes it upon himself, as was evident with his 4 goals last weekend. Only 4 players have attempted more than Palmer's combined 18 shots in the Premier League this season. When Manchester City agreed to sell him over a year ago, it seemed like a sensible solution for all parties. City got a reported £40 million fee, Chelsea got a bright young player, and Palmer moved to a club where he would play regularly. In hindsight, it was a brilliant move, but City will no doubt be kicking themselves a little. They managed without him, of course, but it's hard to understand why a player of his quality didn't play a bigger role in Guardiola's team, especially when City knew Kevin De Bruyne would be out for the first half of the season before he was sold. Palmer played alongside Holland at some point in the 2022-23 campaign, and it's interesting to think how the two would have meshed when they were both at that level. City's loss, however, was Chelsea's gain, and they undoubtedly got a bargain in Palmer. His fourth goal on Saturday was Palmer's 50th for Chelsea in just 53 games in all competitions. In a team that has struggled for consistency throughout Palmer's time there, his consistency is all the more impressive, with little sign of it slowing down. What is certain is that Palmer is now rubbing shoulders with the best, both figuratively and literally.